Welcome back guys. In today's video, I'm going to talk about different types of GST returns. Topics to be covered are types of returns, who are supposed to file it, the due date to file those returns, and the details to be given in the returns. This is a list of different types of GST returns. There is GSTR1, GSTR2, 2A, 3B, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, GSTR9, GSTR9A, 9B, 9C, 10 and 11. GSTR1. So, what is this return about? This return is basically about sale transaction of a business. That is, whatever sales you make, whatever outward supplies you make, you will be filing it in this return. So who is supposed to file this return? Normal registered taxpayers have to file this return, and if you are opting for monthly filing, then it is the 10th day after the end of the month, and if you are going for quarterly return, then it is the end of the month succeeding the quarter. Means if you are someone who opted for monthly return, then by 10th by 10th of October you have to file GSTR1. If you are someone who opted for quarterly type, then the quarter is July, August, September. So by end of October you are supposed to file GSTR1. The details to be given in this return are all the invoices that you raise, all the debit notes and the credit notes that you issue, all the revised invoices that you issue. These are the details that's given in GSTR1. GSTR2. Currently this return is suspended, but this return is about inward supply of purchase and services, and this was supposed to be filed by normal taxpayers, and it was a monthly return, and you were supposed to file it by 15th of the next month. The details to be given in GSTR2 is purchases made from registered and unregistered taxable persons, debit notes and credit notes issued with respect to inward supplies. Currently this return is not being filed, it's currently suspended. So yeah, that's GSTR2. GSTR2A. It is a return consisting of all the details of all inward supply of goods and services. Basically, I'll give you an example. Let's just say you are buying goods from one supplier who is registered under GST. So by 10th of the next month, he will be filing GSTR1, or he is supposed to file GSTR1. Once he files GSTR1, he'll show that he sold so and so goods to you at so and so rate. So when you check your GSTR2A, that invoice will be reflecting in your return. This will be very useful when you are cross-checking the details, your records with different suppliers. GSTR1, this is really helpful. You might know what invoices are missed, what invoices are to be filed, is there any difference in the tax, did they account all the debit notes and the credit notes, did you account all the debit notes and the credit notes. It's really helpful. So this is basically an auto generated data from the supplier's GSTR1. GSTR3B. So this is a return where you can say it is a summary of inward and outward supplies. Basically this is filed by normal registered taxpayers, and it is supposed to be filed by next month 20th. That is, September return GSTR3B is supposed to be filed by October 20th. Even if you have opted for quarterly return in case of GSTR1, you have to file 3B every single month. Even there are no transactions in a month, or you have zero liability in a month, you are supposed to file a nil return saying I don't have any tax obligation or tax liability. Now the details to be given in this are outward supplies made, input tax credit claimed, tax liability. If you are someone who pays tax on RCM basis, then that details. So all these details have to be given in this. What is the credit that you're taking, how much is your liability, all of this will be shown in this return. And yes, this return cannot be revised. If there is a mistake, then you cannot revise it. So yeah, that's for GSTR3B. GSTR4. This is a quarterly return to be filed by composite dealers. Composite dealers are those who don't pay tax as per the usual norm. because they don't have such big transactions. There is a scheme that is provided by the government, where by the act, where they if they fulfill all the conditions, then they can go for composition levy, where the tax rates are comparatively less, and they are not supposed to collect tax from their customers. Now, the due date to file GSTR 4 is 18th of every month following the quarter. Means July, August, September, it's a quarter, right? So a composite dealer has to file GSTR 4 by 18th of October. Now, the details to be given are turnover in the state or union territory, the inward supplies of goods or services or both, tax payable on reverse charge basis. So, these are the details which a composite dealer has to give in GSTR 4. GSTR 5. So, this is a monthly return that has to be filed by non resident taxable persons. A non resident taxable person is a person who does occasional supply of goods or services, and he does not have a fixed place of business in India or residence in India, and he supplies goods or he acts as an agent or a principal or in as such capacity. So that kind of people are known as non-resident taxable person. Now, the details to be given in this return are inward supplies, outward supplies, if there are any interest, penalty or fees to be paid, then that, tax payable or the tax paid, and any other amount as required. Now, the due date to file GSTR 1 is earlier of, means whichever comes first, either within 20 days after the end of the calendar year or 7 days after last date of validity of the registration. So, whichever comes first will be the due date. It depends on the person, it depends on the calendar year. What comes first? Is it 20 days after the calendar year or validity of registration? Which comes first? Based on that, he is supposed to file a monthly return. GSTR 6. So this is a return that has to be filed by input service distributor. So what is an input service distributor? Who is an input service distributor? So ISD, it stands for input service distributor. That's a business which receives invoices for services used by its branches. Then this ISDs, they distribute the tax paid to such branches on a proportional basis by issuing invoices to them. Now, those kind of people are supposed to file this return. So basically, this is a return that is a summary of total input tax credit available for distribution during a particular month, and this return has to be filed every month by 13th of next month. That is, for September, the return has to be filed by 13th of October. Details to be given are input tax credit received and distributed by the ISD to its branches. Now, these details can be seen, that is, it is visible to all the recipients who are receiving this tax in part B of their GSTR 2A. Remember, I told you what GSTR 2A just a while ago. So in that, all the recipients can see these details in part B. GSTR 7. So this is a return about TDS, and this return has to be filed by taxpayers who deduct TDS. It is a monthly return, so this return has to be filed by 10th of next month. For example, you are a person or you have a business where you have to deduct TDS, then for the month of September you have to file that return by 10th of October. The details to be given in this return are TDS liability, TDS refund claimed if you have claimed any, the interest and late fees etc. which are paid or which are to be paid. GSTR 8. This is a return that has to be filed by every e-com operator, that is e-commerce operator, who is required to collect TCS. TCS stands for tax collected at source. Now, the example for e-com operators are Flipkart, Amazon. They basically provide a platform to sellers so that they can sell things, they can reach out to customers on a much bigger, better scale. Now, this return has to be filed by those e-com operators. The return has to be filed on a monthly basis by 10th of next month. That is, like I already told you, for September month the return has to be filed by 10th of October. Details to be given in this return is supplies made through e-com portal and TCS collected thereof. GSTR 9. It is an annual return which has to be filed by normal registered taxpayers by 31st December after the end of a financial year. That is 31st March financial year ends for this year. For 31st March 2020 financial year 1920, the GSTR 9 has to be filed by 31st December 2020. Now, who are supposed to file this? Normal registered taxpayers are supposed to file this return, except means these people are not supposed to. The next coming list are not supposed to file. ISD, that is input service distributor, persons paying tax under 51 or 52, casual taxable persons, non-resident taxable person. These people are not required to file GSTR 9. Now, details to be given in this return is all the outward supplies made, inward supplies received, and HSN codes along with details of taxes payable and paid. If there is no transaction in a year, then the taxpayer is under the obligation to file a nil return. So this is an annual return. GSTR 9A. So this is a return that has to be filed annually by composite dealers by 31st December after the end of financial year. This is basically consolidation of all quarterly returns, and details to be given in this returns are inward and outward supplies, tax paid, tax input tax availed or reversed, tax refunds, late fees, etc. GSTR 9B. This is a return that has to be filed by e-com operators who are supposed to collect TCS. Now, this is also a consolidation of all monthly returns filed, and this has to be filed annually by 31st December after the end of a financial year. The details to be given are supplies made through e-com portal and TCS collected thereof. GSTR 9C. What is this about, and who are supposed to file this? This is supposed to be filed by a registered person whose aggregate turnover is above 2 crores. That is, in a financial year, if your turnover crosses 2 crores, then you have to file this return, that is 9C. Their books have to be audited by a chartered accountant. And this return is basically reconciliation of values which are declared in 9, that is GSTR 9, the annual return, and the audited financials or the audited annual accounts. So basically this is the reconciliation of these two, and this is a return that has to be filed annually by 31st December after the end of a financial year. GSTR 10. This is actually a final return. If a registered person's registration gets cancelled, then that person is supposed to file this return. This is the final return. This does not include input tax, input service distributors, composition dealers, non-resident taxable persons, or persons who are supposed to collect TDS or TCS. They are not supposed to file this return. This return is supposed to be filed by those normal taxable or registered taxpayers whose registration got cancelled. Now, the frequency, or when are they supposed to file it? Later of 3 months from date of cancellation or date of order of cancellation. That is, what comes later, what comes second. Either it is 3 months after the date of cancellation or date of order of cancellation. Whatever comes second will be the due date for them to file the return. Now, the intent, or why is this return there, or why is it important to file this? It is to make sure that a taxpayer whose registration is cancelled, for whatever reasons it could be, they are paying their tax liability, and the tax liability is higher of, that is the value which is more, it is higher of tax, input tax related to stock of FG, that is finished goods, SFG, that is semi finished goods, capital goods or plant and machinery, or output tax payable on such goods. Whatever, either the input tax or the output tax, whichever is the highest amount, that is the tax liability, and the taxpayer is supposed to pay that amount. GSTR 11. This is a return that has to be filed by UIN holders, that is unique identification number holders, and this number is specifically given to foreign embassies and diplomats who are not required to pay taxes in India. If they have paid any tax, they can claim a refund for such amount. And organizations who are allotted UIN are specialized agency of UN organizations, consulates or embassy of foreign countries, multilateral financial institution, and organization notified under UN Privileges and Immunities Act 1947, any other person or class of persons as specified by the commissioner, there is a GST commissioner, and the due date to file this return is 28th of succeeding month in which inward supplies are received by UIN holders. That is, if a UIN holder has received some inward supply in the month of September, then they are supposed to file this return by 28th of October. Thanks for watching, you guys. Follow me on my social. Also share your views on this video. Also, one more thing, I'll be sharing this presentation or this video or the notes in my Telegram channel. I'll put the link in the description. Go check it out. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time.